Okay, so finally, to those little runs, hopefully, that you can put in your playing. What I'm getting at here is really the same sort of thing that we've often done with Neil Young songs. We're playing the chords, and then you put in a bit of melody, yeah? And he was doing that. He does that a lot, doesn't he? And he's using, as I've been talking about in earlier videos, why has it gone down? I hope you can still see. He's using, for those little melodies that he puts in, I can't remember really any offhand, but I'm sure you know what I mean. He's using, those notes are coming from, like I was talking about before, they'll be coming from the scale that the chords that he's using are coming from, yeah? And so getting back to Grevious Angel, like I said, this is all in the key of G, except that one chord A7, which we'll get onto in a bit. But the rest of it in the key of G, and so we can use G major pentatonic, and we can use G natural major, because we're in the key of G natural major. And you're only going to be able to put these in when you've got time. So looking at the sheet, won't you scratch my itch, sweet Annie Rich, welcome me back to town. Basically, when you've got a pause in the lyrics, yeah? So the first place that it felt natural for me to really put something in was when I got to the end of that first line of that first sentence, really. Won't you scratch my itch, sweet Annie Rich, and welcome me back to town. So I did two different ones there, yeah? The main thing is I'm just using that major scale, whether I'm descending it, you know, like the stuff that you're doing in the Neil Young, but it's, I suppose, this is slightly more advanced. You're actually sort of taking a break from the chords. Not much of a break, but you know, you're actually putting in a lead line there as well, or a single note line. So the thing is, it's from the G major scale, or it could be from the G pentatonic, major pentatonic, back to town. Why not try that pentatonic one at first, because it's going to be easier, because it's 5 notes rather than 7 notes. And the shape is easier to remember. Remember, we've got 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3. So it's either 0, 3 or 0, 2, yeah? And it's 0, 3 on your low E and on your thinnest 2 strings. And on these 3, it's 0, 2, yeah? So the thing to do is use notes from the scale, and then they've got to fit the timing. So typically in country, you're not going to, well, yeah, you're typically going to do, in this sort of pace song, it's rumbling along at a medium pace, you're going to use 8th notes. That is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, yeah, that speed. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2. Yeah? Or we could be, that's descending the scale, or I could just ascend the scale. When welcome me back to town. Yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, yeah. Now, at first, it can be a struggle to incorporate those, because you need to do that in time. Well, you need to first of all think about the actual where is it on the fretboard. You'll need to get clear on that really first, I think, before you can really start to incorporate it in time. Yeah, you don't want to be thinking about, oh, can I use this note or this note? Which fret is it? You want to know the shape. You want to know the shape without thinking. Yeah, and I think you're pretty familiar with that pentatonic shape. Yeah. So that's how you can incorporate these things. That was the major pentatonic. The major scale, the natural major scale, which is 2 more notes. Obviously, those 2 more notes allow you more colour, yeah, more melodic range. You can then make melodies that you can't with just the 5 notes of the pentatonic, but it involves remembering more, because you've got to remember, for example, on the top 3 strings, instead of just 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, you've got to remember 0, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0, 2, 3, yeah? But if I just give an example again of the sort of thing I might do, so won't you scratch my itch, sweet Annie Rich, welcome me back to town, turn out on your parlour, come out on your push and step on your parlour. Right, so all I did there, I just descended the scale, yeah? It was nothing too fancy, but it's quite nice. It adds quite a bit of colour to your bass drum sound. And I'll show you how it all went down. Yeah, and again, I just did it there, yeah? It's just finding those notes and finding what works. On that D, I basically kept that D shape as much as possible, yeah? Make it as easy for yourself as possible. So I'll show you how it all went down. Down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, yeah? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what that was, there's my D shape. So I just strum down, getting that 2nd fret of the top E string as my highest note, then up pick for the open top E string, then 3rd fret B string, 2nd fret G string, then take the 1st finger off, open G string, and then little finger on the 4th fret of the D string. And all those notes are, they're all from the G major scale, yeah? Okay, so that's how I would incorporate the scales, yeah? When I've got time, I would put in little runs, just like that. What else was there? There was, yes, chordal stuff. When you get to that A7, for example, just on that A7, think about the different places you can play. Let me just see that I'm still in shot. Yeah, yes I am. Yeah, hopefully that's okay. Right, when you get to that A7, think of the different places you can play A and A7, and you can make a chordal melody, by which I mean, yeah, so instead of just, and I'll show you how it all went down, instead of just saying on the A7, here, or the A, and show you how it all went down, I could go to A up here, then I'd have that top note on the 5th fret of the top E string as my melody. This is A in the, yeah, it's that E-shaped bar chord. But instead of playing the whole bar chord, I'm just playing that shape like we do as a simple F, yeah? So just the half bar on the top 2 strings with my 1st finger, and G string with my 2nd finger, D string with my 3rd finger, yeah? And I can play open A because it's an A chord. So 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this is A7, or you might know it as this. Yeah, basically A with the little finger on the 3rd fret. When I'm doing an A7, because I don't need to hear that open top E string. I just do a bar with my first finger and then put my second finger or third finger there. So this is on the 2nd fret and this is on the 3rd fret, just on that top E string. So and show you how it all went down. So that sort of thing you can use as well. Chords in different places. And yeah, it changes. I won't go into the key change and using the different scale there. Let's leave that. Oh, I've got a frog in my throat. I'll just talk about, because this is getting to be a long one as well. So I'll just talk about that intro lick. Remember that it goes at the very beginning of the song. Now this might not sound much like what happens at the very beginning of the song, but that's because it's being played on a slide guitar and it's being played a whole octave up from where I'm doing it. But we're not going to go. It's just, far too difficult to get there. Doesn't sound very good. So I'm doing an octave down, but I can still learn stuff from it, because this is what the slide player is doing. He's got these 2 notes. Yeah, he just takes them down, a fret at a time, and then you hear the song start with the G chord. So what is he doing? Well, these 2 notes are the top 2 notes of a D chord. Yeah, 2nd fret, top E string, 3rd fret, B string. He plays those 2 notes. Then he just moves them down, like I said, a fret at a time or a semitone at a time. And then he gets to there. Well, what's that? 1st fret of the B string, open top E string. Well, that's the top of a C chord. So he's basically gone D, D flat, C, and then the band start with G. And he's using those chords because they're used for the whole of the rest of the song. Yeah, you could play them here in a bar chord shape. Yeah. It's nice to, I guess, it's nice to know that sort of thing, that's what's happening, because it can give you ideas about what you can play to add to your rhythm playing. And also, I mean, even if you choose not to use it in this particular instance, it might help you somewhere else, yeah? You might think, oh, I know a song in G, C, D, and I can actually make my own intro, and it's just going to go D, down to C, fret at a time. That sort of thing. But in this song, you could start your rendition of the song, or maybe with fingers 1 and 2 it'd be easier. Just as a little intro at the beginning, rather than just launching into the song 1, 2, 3, 4. You could just start it. It could be free time or it could be in time. It's up to you. You could have a little pause there, look around if you're with a band, and then get going. Okay, so those are just some ideas of what you can do, how you can add to your rhythm playing. And like I said, much like you would do much like we have been doing with those Neil Young songs, but just taking it slightly further and actually doing more of an extended single note line. And sometimes, as in that intro, little parts of chords as well. Okay, hope that helps. Bye.